In the immortal words of managerial maven Paul Bearer, well, it's a good thing all those allusions to omnipresent corruption I heaved in my how Obama obliterated Hillary rant turned out to be barrels of bullshit, right? After all, who could even momentarily conceive that a messianic product of Chicago politics, arguably the single most corrupt municipality in all of modernity, would turn out to be Slick Dick Nixon with a fucking suntan?
Remember the time.
This follows President Trump's tweets claiming that former President Barack Obama ordered the wiretapping of telephones at Trump Tower during the election. And Obama's spokesman says, quote, neither President Obama nor any White House official ever ordered surveillance on any U.S. citizen. Any suggestion otherwise is simply false.
It would probably be helpful if he gave more information, but it also might be helpful if he just didn't comment further and allowed us to do our work.
Should President Trump be making this allegation without any evidence?
I don't understand why they did that. He just put another quarter in the conspiracy parking meter.
CNN has learned that investigators wiretapped former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort under secret court order, both before and after the 2016 election. And that surveillance continued into this year, including a period when Manafort wasn't working for the campaign, but was known to talk with President Donald Trump.
Meaning, by the way, that when that unfunny ass-pained ideologue Al Fucknob Franken parted his maw and demanded Manafort and Donald Trump Jr. testify about Russia under oath, given that they were both being goddamn wiretapped by a hack he helped elect, his energy would have been infinitely better applied to the former teleprompter-in-chief. So let's take stock. Obama knew Benghazi was carried out by Al-Qaeda. Internal emails reveal both he and Secretary Hillary Clinton made a conscious decision to blame it on a YouTube video anyway. Seems there's a lot of that going around these days. The IRS targeted his political enemies, which, oh hey, by the way, is the same shit Nixon was impeached for. His DOJ illegally targeted Arpaio for overstepping his mandate by investigating the same illegal aliens and drug cartels he and Eric Holder were actively selling fucking guns to. I mean, we had hints to his duplicity, but eternally equipped as he was with his good pal plausible deniability, blaming him for anything of the above was like nailing Jello to the fucking wall. But wiretapping the competition in the heat of a fucking election, allowing a fleet of black ties to burglarize his butt fucking home? I mean, I knew he was corrupt. I didn't know he was a walking Watergate, which by the by is exactly how this scandal would be treated if the press weren't permanently fluffing this fuckwit's wang to completion. I mean, I'd ask where Woodward and Bernstein are, but we actually know exactly where they are. On CNN, erecting monuments to the cratering of Mount St. Hilary while licking Obama's lily white ass crack clean.
Richard Nixon was nothing in terms of lying compared to what we have seen from Donald Trump.
Truly, my friends, the men who took down Nixon were paragons of principle. Kind of makes you wonder if Watergate was the public's very first serving of Nothing Burger, don't it? Oh, but they better be on CNN, because faced with the prospect of admitting Donald Trump was A1 fucking correct when he accused Obama of wiretapping his turds, their last 24 hours of coverage had consisted of gale force spins so overpoweringly profound Irma's gone lime green with envy. Hurricane Madhouse spinning so hard you'd think she sat on a Tasmanian butt plug.
The New York Times reports tonight, just within the last couple of hours, that the president's campaign chairman, Paul Manafort, has been informed by federal prosecutors that they intend to indict him. Now, of course, both of these stories broke at like 7 o'clock tonight, which is, we have had a joke on our show staff for a while now that once you get into like 7 o'clock-ish, it becomes Russia o'clock.
Yeah, man, Bulge? When's Obama o'clock? Or is that like Arizona with daylight savings? Or television viewers with your Adam's apple? We just pretend it doesn't exist. Benghazi, IRS, Fast and Furious, NSA, and now wiretapping the opposition? How hard does a glance of this douche's dick have to smack against your tonsils before you concede Barack Obama was a corrupt as fuck cunt-refuge from which no candor can conceivably escape? Of course, more than a mere acknowledgement that the press mocked Trump for merely suggesting a now confirmed fucking fact, I suspect the reason for this admission is actually twofold. With a likelihood lapsing well into fucking certainty, someone in the Trump cabinet probably caught wind of this fact and planned to disseminate the details themselves, and so the press got out front of it to forestall the moral vindication of Donald Trump. And two, because acknowledging the fact that Trump turned out to be right as rain is about 9 fuckloads less painful than focusing on the fact that despite these wiretaps being run both before and after the election under the guise of unmasking Moscow's involvement in the Trump campaign, they turned up, you guessed it, a goddamn goose egg! While the press is frantically attempting to save face by insisting Mueller vowed that Manafort will face prosecution, the vast yawning chasm where any action whatsoever should be in the interim tells the rational among us the real fucking story. Unless Manafort's a motherfucking Zangief player, there is no goddamn Russia story. One Don Jr. email chain initiated by a 1/15th as fuck Russian lawyer it later emerged was connected not to the Don, but dipshit never-Trumper himself, John Jimmy Arms McCain, in what anyone with eyeballs can readily discern was a transparent attempt to goad the Trump camp into incriminating itself in the closing stages of the election. It's a conspiracy, all right, just not one that has anything at all to do with fucking Russia. Tell you what, Trumpster, I say steer into the conspiratorial skid. Tomorrow, host a press conference with a fifth of fucking Smirnoff, wear one of those hats with the fur flaps just to fuck with them, snort a line off Mila Jovovich's slatch and declare Rocky and Bullwinkle enemies of the motherfucking state. Go ham while you're at it. If they're still clinging to the Russian narrative after you bomb the beef stroganoff out of their allies, they're just gonna make shit up regardless. So go for it. Serve borscht at the Correspondents' Dinner. Fire the Joint Chiefs and replace it with Nikolai Volkov and Iron fucking Sheik. The media. Look, it's been fun, folks, but it is officially time to wrap up this Steve Vai guitar solo length game of The Boy Who Cried Boris Yeltsin. The Russia story's a lot like those wooden dolls all the pasty-faced tourists keys to the fuck back stateside. Every time you crack open the midriff and insist on splaying the dwindling contents, your credibility even among your most ardent supporters steadily shrinks to shit. And so one generation at a time, you are single-handedly dismantling the public's capacity to give a fuck. I'm Razor Fist. God fucking speed.
I know nothing.